Are you gonna drink that? Hello? Earth to willow? You know, this is your head, sweetheart. These thoughts are yours.
I'm not in control.
Who is? Why don't you play music anymore? You're so talented.
I don't like it.
No, you just don't like the idea of being anything like me.
Could be.
That really hurts my feelings. I never showed you anything but love.
And hopelessness.
Occasionally. But we really aren't so different, you know. We actually have a lot in common, more than you let yourself believe. You're an excidentesius, love. You force your smiles. You've chosen the happy narrative, and you're playing the happy part. But you're lost, trapped within confines of your mind. It's a dreadful place to be, and you can't, for the life of you, find your way back out. Doesn't that make you thirsty? It does me.
That's disgusting.
I'm sorry. I will never forget that day as long as I live. No mother ever could. The memories of that experience are so vividly printed on my mind that there's no way I could erase them, even if I wanted to. Part of me screams that it was all an ugly nightmare. Another part of me screams just as loudly that it was all very real. It must have been real. It had to be real. It was the day before the feast of Passover was to begin. Jerusalem was swarming with people who had come to town for all the festivities and to fulfill their annual obligation to their faith. I do not know if it was just the number of people, but there was a strange mood in the air. I had not slept much the night before, and what rest I did have was not very good. My mind kept saying, this could not be happening to me. I cried and cried. I kept checking the window to see if daylight was coming. I wanted the night to end, and at the same time, I so dreaded the daylight. I now know that nothing will be able to eternally separate me from my family, because my son, my entire family, and I have now placed our faith in Jesus Christ. What do women want? I got this wrong for years, man. Totally didn't understand women. I was feeling pretty hopeless until I found this quiz. It's not too many questions, but it showed me exactly what I was getting wrong.
This looks like a good spot. I've always wanted to do this.
Lay in a field in the middle of the night?
No, jerk. I'm clearly talking about the stars.
So why the East Asia adventure right away? You couldn't just wait a bit? Maybe see Chicago first?
Are you asking me to delay my trip just for you?
I mean, that's an oversimplification.
Why start your big boy job right away? You could join me.
Just feels right. Maybe one day, when I finally go on one of my own little adventures, we'll run into each other again.
Well, when you assign a topic like write about an issue that needs to be changed in society, I mean, of course, people will interpret that in different ways.
Right, but you were supposed to cite at least 10 sources, and he didn't do any.
Do you have a son, Mr. Paxson?
Clarice, my daughter.
Oh, of course. Is Clarice good at English? Like writing papers, that sort of thing?
She's learning.
She's learning. I mean, aren't we all?
Yeah.
How would you feel if Clarice was in my English class and I gave her a grade on the final paper that made her fail the entire course?
If she met the requirements, I wouldn't see why you would.
I'm just asking for a favor here. My son's been struggling. He worked really hard on this essay.
Based on your recent behavior, you've been expelled from the school. Your parents are on their way as we speak. You've disappointed me, your family, and you should be disappointed in yourself.
And there's a witness.
I was minding my own business when this coked up ballerina knocked me out with some magic wand. I didn't do anything to her. Nothing.
Getting arrested or charged with a crime is a terrifying experience for anyone. Oftentimes, people that find themselves navigating the criminal justice system are just everyday people who made a mistake. So when it comes to finding the right attorney to be your voice and defend you from that complex and harsh system, how do you know you're choosing the right one? There are a lot of attorneys in the world that try to take any case they can get their hands on. In other words, they try to be a jack of all trades, but a master of none. A true criminal lawyer has a different toolkit that other lawyers don't, and knows that you're innocent until proven guilty, no matter the charge. The state holds the burden to prove your guilt beyond reasonable doubt. In other words, it's not a question of did you do it, it's a question of what can they prove. You may have made a mistake, but you still have rights that deserve to be protected by the right people, true criminal lawyers. And at justcharge.com, we are the best place to find a criminal lawyer.